Hello YouTube friends, welcome to my channel. So today we're talking about the big news that Call of Duty is finally coming to Game Pass. Now I had made a video about the Microsoft Gaming slash Xbox showcase that's coming in June, and I gave my thoughts about it a little bit, and I actually said I thought that they would probably put Call of Duty in Game Pass, and the reason I said it even at the time, I thought it's just a strategic way for them to boost subs while also still making a lot of money. Now, as you can see right here, I'm looking at the Verge article right here, or this is the Verge on Twitter, or X. It's now called X, I guess. But they're talking about this in the Wall Street Journal reports. So go over here, and this is the actual report here from the Wall Street Journal, and yeah, they're talking about. Continue reading. They talk about how they are now going to put their Call of Duty game, because you got to remember Microsoft bought Activision Blizzard King back, or they completed the purchase back in October of 2023, and so many people speculated whether they would put Call of Duty in Game Pass, because it generates so much revenue off the sales. I mean, this is a game that when it's up, you're talking like 30 plus million sales. Even when it's down, like this year I think was more of a down year, mainly because Modern Warfare 3 2023 was more of a DLC type deal. They kind of sold it as a non-DLC, so they got a lot of flack for that, but it was more or less like a DLC. It still sold 22 million copies. So even in a down year, they still get a lot of sales. So now they're going to put this into Game Pass. And see, talk about user Game Pass and all this other stuff. And a lot of people were speculative whether they were going to do this or not, because of basically what would they cannibalize their own sales, like on the Xbox and possibly even the PC, if you think about it. Okay, so my take on this is that if they do it right. Again, this showcase has to be one of their best. They have to bring the gamers and everything back to the Xbox brand. I think the only way they do this, and again, Call of Duty is going to be part of this, but they really have to make the Xbox players, and really PC, Xbox ecosystem, which right now is pretty much Xbox and PC. They need to make those players look, feeling very important. Now, right now, there's two different tiers. There's Game Pass Core, and there's Game Pass Ultimate. And so, what I think is going to happen because of this, they are going to raise the one tier, which is Game Pass Ultimate. I think they're going to raise that tier to $19.99 a month. Right now, it's currently $16.99 a month. Core right now is $9.99 a month. Now Core, you basically it's like old Xbox Live. You get like 25 games. It's all that. It's basically what Xbox Live used to be without the gold, except kind of, you get 25 games, but you don't get like 4 new games a month. Whereas Xbox Ultimate, you get 500 plus games, which that's another weird thing. Like they keep saying 100 plus. No. There's 500 games or more at a time in Game Pass. I don't understand why Microsoft doesn't advertise this more. They're still stuck on that 2018-19 mantra of 100 plus. Now back then it was only 100 plus games, but now it's 500 plus games. And once they dump, and with this news talking about the new Call of Duty going into Game Pass day and date, I'm assuming that all the old ABK catalog is going to go into Game Pass. Probably going to be announced at this June showcase as well. So that's like probably another 50 to 100 games, depending on the licenses. You got to remember they have Transformers, they have uh, um, 007 games, they have Spider-Man games, they have all these other games that could go in there, plus all the old Call of Duty games, so on and so forth. So it's going to be very interesting how this is going to go. I can't wait to see that list of games. It's going to probably go and dump into Game Pass immediately. Most likely, it's going to happen at the showcase. Like, they're already there for you to play. So, but my take on this is, I think Game Pass Ultimate will go up a little bit. I have again, they already have that tier as day and date games for their first party. So it will go up a little bit. I don't think that's a big deal. So if you think about it, the Call of Duty games, when they launch now, the base game is $70, right? And they call it now like the Vault Edition. The Vault Edition, again, we don't know what the Call of Duty Black Ops Edition is going to be called, but right now, let's say Vault Edition. Vault Edition is like $100. That basically, you get the base game and you get a bunch of extra stuff. You get all these extra operators. You get like 25 skips in the season when the season comes up. All this other stuff. You get a bunch of stuff. Okay. So if you think about it, if a person decides to get, let's say it goes to $20, if a person decides to get Game Pass Ultimate for 3 months, that's $60. And if you decide to buy again, if it's in Game Pass, the base game is going to be, essentially, if you have Ultimate, you get it for free. It's like you don't have to buy the game. But if you want that extra like Vault Edition, you'll have to spend like $30 extra for that edition, or $30 to get that stuff. And I think that's what the way they're going to play it. They're going to have that, just like they did with Starfield and a bunch of other games. Like you'll be able to play that, and again, you'll be able to play the game if you buy that like a week early, so on and so forth. This is also an opportunity for Microsoft to finally drop the price of their consoles, and this is the big deal. This Call of Duty game is going to be the first Call of Duty game this generation that's going to be only this generation. It's going to be only PC, Xbox Series systems, and PS5. We know that they made a deal with Nintendo. I have a feeling that Call of Duty game, or those Call of Duty games, will not come out until the Switch 2 launches, because I don't think it would function properly on the old Switch. Remember, the Switch launched in 2017. I don't think it would be worth their time. So I think they'll wait for the Switch 2 to come out, and then they'll launch it on whatever new console that's going to be from Nintendo. And it could be, again, Call of Duty. If they launch the Switch 2 early next year or sometime next year, then this Call of Duty game will launch with that system. I see that happening. But what they could do is, again, you're only going to get Game Pass, but you have to look at it like this. If you're a gamer and you buy multiple games, like let's say you buy Madden, you buy FIFA, you buy WWE games, 2K game, or NBA 2K games, all those games, right? And now they have this new NCAA football game coming out for the first time in like 12 years or so. Those games are going to go be in Game Pass. So would you rather spend around, let's say, between $200 to $300 a year on Game Pass and get all those games, plus you get another extra 500 to 600 games? Or would you just rather buy all those games individually and spend like $700, $800? I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer. If they market this right, this should boost their subs. I would say by the end of this year, 10 million at least, if not more, which right now I believe Game Pass subs are around 35 million, so that would boost them up to around between probably 45 and 50. But again, it's all about marketing. I mean, again, their marketing on Game Pass alone right now is pathetic. They still say 100 plus games. It should be 500 plus games. Why are they not shouting that to the hills? Like, look at all these games. Why aren't they doing that? They should be doing this. The Call of Duty should be attached to Game Pass now for the rest of the year. Hey, this is what you get, and plus you get all this. Again, you're paying under $100 for 500 plus games for 3 months, plus Call of Duty, plus you get that bonus with the operator set. I mean, that's a big deal. I don't see how people wouldn't gravitate to that deal. And again, this means you also are going to be able to play the game on the PC or the Xbox system. Now, in my opinion, they also need to drop the price of the Xbox systems. Many people believe they're going to have an Xbox Series X Slim. If this happens, I believe the Xbox Series X with the disc needs to drop down to $400. The Slim needs without, which again would probably not have a disc, but still a terabyte inside of it of memory needs to drop. It would be like 350. The black Series S, which has got a terabyte in it, needs to drop down to 250, and then the base Series S needs to drop to 200. I think if they did this, this would push a lot of systems out, and this would actually increase Game Pass subs by a very big multitude. But again, we don't know what they're going to do with the pricing, and also too, this is an opportunity for them to have a Series X Call of Duty limited edition system, kind of like what they had with the Halo 20 20-year edition system for Halo with the Series X. I mean, you could have a Call of Duty system, a Call of Duty controller. That system, of course, would be like $500 because it would come in the game. It probably, and again, if it's me, I'm pushing Game Pass hard. I'm giving each system that sells a month of Game Pass for free. Boom. I mean, so that means you buy those three, you get really 4 months of Game Pass. Get one free plus 3 months. I mean, that's 4 months. Think about it. That's a huge thing for them. And again, it has to be marketed properly. It has to be pushed out. They need to be shouting this to like Call of Duty. You get Call of Duty plus 500-600 games. Look at all these games you get plus Call of Duty, and look all these other games you might buy out of the year like Madden and all this. You get all these games too. I mean, it's in there. Why aren't they saying this? But this has to be marketed properly. I don't know if they're going to do it properly, but if they do it properly, it's a big deal. And again, this Call of Duty is the first Call of Duty, and I get back to this. I think I got off for a second. This Call of Duty is the first Call of Duty this generation that's only this gen. I think I did say real quick. So that's a big deal because a lot of people are still playing PS4. A lot of people are still playing Xbox One, right? And so they're going to, now, if you drop the price, they're going to gravitate now to this. And again, they play the Call of Duty games on those systems. So they're going to gravitate to the best deal for Call of Duty. The best deal for Call of Duty, in this case, if they do it right, is going to obviously be the Xbox Series systems, whether you get the Series S or the Series X. And, of course, there's the big rumor that they're going to come out with a powerful handheld system like the, I believe it's called the Rogue Ally or Ally or whatever it's called, and then the Steam Deck. So they're going to come out with that too. So if they come out with that this holiday, they're going to have that plus those systems. And again, that thing's supposed to be able to play Steam games, Epic Store games, Game Pass games, Xbox games, the whole nine. So, and again, I would think they would price that at probably about $300, maybe $290, probably the same price as the Switch, $299.99. That would be my guess. But yeah, they have a very big opportunity here to bring a lot of gamers from last gen into this gen and actually play on the Xbox. I mean, I know a lot of news for the Xbox has been down, but to be realistic, I mean, to be honest, it hasn't been that bad. I mean, they're acting like the Xbox Series systems have sold like GameCube level or Dreamcast level. No, they've sold like 30 million units, which is almost average of 10 million per year. But they have an opportunity. Again, the units have not been selling because the prices have not been dropping. The prices have to drop for them to sell. This is an opportune time for them to drop those prices at this showcase. Huge showcase coming up for them. They need to hit a home run here and get back in the game. And they have a chance. They really do. Again, bringing a lot of those players over to the Xbox system. They really have a chance here. I ain't saying they're going to win this generation when it comes to console sales. I don't think that's going to happen. But they definitely could boost console sales and, extend this generation. Another big thing, too, I think is going to happen. They're going to have a handheld this year, and then they're going to have a new system next year. Now that we know when GTA 6 is launching, we know it's launching the fall of 2025. That means Xbox may decide to go ahead and launch their next gen then. And Sony, we're hearing rumors now, the Pro may be getting canceled because they may have to launch their new system in 2026. So, again, would you launch a Pro now and then have to launch a new system in 2026? And again, we this may happen because we know there's a new Xbox system out there. And it's not just that handheld. There is a system out there. We don't know if it's a mid-gen refresh. We don't know if it's a next-gen system. But it's out there right now making the rounds. And it's going to be very interesting because, again, if they launch this handheld this year, I think you'll see the next system debut, or they'll make its debut at the Gaming Awards in December, just like the Xbox Series X did. So you'll see that system show up, and again, they'll push that system in 2025. Just like they did with the 360, they'll try to get that 1 year head start to get out front. And again, imagine having GTA 6, the system that can only play GTA 6 at like 4K, HDR, Dolby Vision, or whatever you want to call it, ray tracing at 60 frames per second. Because we know the PS5 ain't going to be able to do it. We know the Xbox Series X ain't going to be able to do it. The Series S, they'll be 30 frames. Now, even the Pro, we were finding out that the CPU is kind of weak, and it may not be able to push that game to 60 frames. But the new Xbox system would probably do that. I mean, people are going to be mad scrambling for this thing to play that game at a 60 frame rate at native 4K. So I think that is also on the table for Microsoft right now. We'll see what happens. But like I said, the showcase is a big deal. This is big news. I mean, it's absolutely huge news when you think about it. I mean, now Microsoft has pretty much every game in Game Pass that is sold, that people buy consistently throughout the year. Madden, FIFA, Call of Duty, WWE, NBA 2K. All these games are now in Game Pass. And this is a very big opportunity for them. You would figure that would be something else they would try to sell. It's like I said, marketing's key. They have to market this like crazy. This thing should be on football fields. This thing should be everywhere, letting people know, hey, look what you get in Game Pass if you get Call of Duty, and you get all this, right? And you get it for a pretty low price if you think about it. Like it'd be like $240 a year, but some people will spend like $1,000 a year on games. So I mean, that's a huge deal. But anyway, you can share your thoughts in the comments. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And that's all I got for you guys today. So you guys have a blessed day. Keep gaming. Peace.